It's a first alert weather day here in western Colorado. Yesterday we have wind, and now today that wind is returning. A lot of these alerts are repeating from the same timeline yesterday, but wind advisories are going to be big in our forecast today, covering Grand Junction, Montrose, even parts of Delta, the Silk Corridor up to Rifle, Meeker, and even Craig, and down to Nucla, the Dove Creek area, and of course Durango and Cortez. We're expecting 50-mile-per-hour gusts at most across most of these areas. Elevated wildfire risk is certainly a probability, along with difficulty driving and then downed power lines or tree limbs. And that will start at 9 a.m. this morning and end right around 9 p.m. on your Tuesday. It's something we're watching out for, so let's time out that wind, because last night was incredibly quiet. We didn't have much wind, really anything below 20 miles an hour or even at 20 miles an hour, particularly not an average risk. But once we accelerate into the morning hours, 6 a.m., things still calm, and hitting the start of our advisory time, which was 9 a.m., that's when things start to change. We start to ramp up to the 20s in some spots, Nucla getting to about 27, but it's after that where we see the biggest impacts. By 12, we're expecting 30-mile-per-hour gusts in Grand Junction and in Delta, 29 in the Montrose area, 36 out in Nucla, and then about 31 down in Cortez. Accelerating to the late afternoon hours, looking at 3 p.m., you're expecting about 34 in Grand Junction, 36 in Delta, 30 in Montrose, and about 38 in the Cortez area. So overall, lots of wind to be had, really bordering the 40s right there in the Nucla area. So that means we are going to see some turbulence. And by 6 p.m. dinner time, be careful not to blow away, because 41-mile-per-hour gusts present in Nucla. We're bordering that in a few other spots, and Cortez is sitting at 38-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So things should calm down overnight again, but this wind, it does have a purpose, but it also has a threat associated with it. That threat is wildfire. So our wildfire risk starts bright and early this morning, and that's because when the sun comes up, our temperatures warm up and then our air dries out. Our air has been dry and we've been lacking relative humidity, but peaking at what we're going to see later in the morning and even progressing to halfway through the day, right as that wind advisory starts, the risks start to escalate. To explain the scale, this is from 0 to about an 8, and considerably speaking, a 4 would be a moderate to average risk, and that's something we don't want to see. That's halfway. We're already at a 4 at 9 a.m. in Grand Junction and in Montrose, and in the Cortez area, a 3. But watch what happens later, because there is no improvement to be had. By lunchtime, we're looking at a 5 in Grand Junction, Montrose, and Cortez, and then moving once more. By about 3 p.m., we're going to escalate to a 5 in Grand Junction, a 6 in the Montrose area, and even a 7 down in Cortez, which is unideal to say the least. But by dinner time, we top the chart as high as it can go by reaching an 8 in Cortez. So lots of fire risk to be had, no burning of any kind. But why do we have this wind here? And let's talk about where it's coming from. We actually have a cold front, which is going to track across Utah. It's going to come from northeastern Utah, and it's going to bring us some colder air. That's what this big circulation is here. It's a low pressure trough, which has a colder temperature current with it. A lot of the wind is really condensing and passing over Colorado, but by Wednesday at 6 p.m., you can see that cooler color gradient has sunk into our state. Our temperatures are going to cool down. So all the wind is here because we are supposed to have colder temperatures on the way. So getting through the warmth and the wind will then eliminate all the fire danger, and we'll have some colder weather. We've been way above average for our temperatures, but this morning you might not even need a jacket on the way out the door, because it's 66 at 8 a.m. At 10 a.m. you're looking at about 73, and by 1 p.m. about 81 degrees. It's a beautiful day outside today despite the winds, and your high temperatures otherwise, you're looking at 86 in Grand Junction, 85 in Delta, about 81 in Montrose, and 78 in Cortez. And your low temperatures, well, you're expecting 46 in Grand Junction, 43 in Delta and in Montrose, 35 in Cortez. So things are cooling down just by a little bit, and that's expected, because watch what we are going to do with our temperatures from today leading to tomorrow. 86 turns to 67, and then for the rest of the week, we'll start to warm up again, but the drop between today and tomorrow for that cold front is really significant. And by the weekend, you're expecting to be back in the 80s, and we could see some rain as of next Monday. Monday. But in the meantime, Montrose still has wildfire danger today. 81 degrees turns to 62, and then we'll start to see some more action by maybe next week. But we'll warm back up in the meantime. Looking at Delta, we're expecting 85 today, wildfire danger, but cooling with that cold front entering about 68 degrees in the Delta area. Maybe a chance for a stray shower or two. Some cloud coverage will re-enter the forecast, but we warm right back up. A subtle warming trend from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday. Looking at Cortez, wildfire danger remains high, 78 degrees. They're a little cooler than the rest of us, but on your Wednesday, 63. So that means we're cooling down for our cold front.